Welcome back, football fans, to another episode of the Prediction Show. We are back and it is the business end of the season. We've got 4 things coming up in this episode. First, we're going to put together a quick filter based on second half goals, and we're going to make a double with the fixtures that we find. Then we move across to the trends pages on OddAlerts because I've got a brand new killer feature for you that is going to save you so much time. Then we put together the weekend-long form guide ACCA. This made its debut in the Discord last week and it was a winner at 5.41, and this ACCA will exclusively use the data on the form guide page. And then once we've got that sorted and nailed down, we move to the bet slip generator to see if we can play man versus machine once more. So without further ado, let's get into it. So here we are then with the first segment. This is quick filters, and as I said in the intro, we are going to be focusing on second half goals. Let's add some rules for the away team. Let's qualify that they have scored a second half goal, shall we? Maybe in let's say at least 33% of away games. I like a strong away team, you know me. And then we can also focus on the away team. In fact, we can add this to both teams. We have 0-0 percentage in the second half. So we don't want this to be that high. We want the 0-0 percentage to be, let's say, 40% or less for both of these teams. And then we can also, if you wanted to, and I'm just spitballing here, this is off the top of my head, we can add rules for the first half goals because it depends what you're going to go with. If you're going with most goals in the second half, then surely you don't want to see too many goals in that first half. So maybe we could look at a home team here who has not conceded at home in that many home games. And to do this, we could maybe put this to 50%. And we've got a lot of rules here already. So let's just hit search, see which kind of games we get. And we are already looking at the next 5 days here in the calendar, and we can have a look at maybe sorting this by a certain metric as well. So 0-0 percentage, we don't want to sort by that because that will be the worst games, if you will, at the top. Let's sort by this, the away team's goal scoring record away from home in the second half. We hit search, and we've got a game here on Sunday from the Republic of Ireland. We've also got AC Milan here, who have been doing not too well at all. They are down to 9th in the league. They've won 44% of away games, 23 points. And if we look at the goal difference there, just 3 compared to -3 for their opponents. A lot of draws recently, just 1 victory. Not too many goals in their games, but as you can see by the home team's form, a lot of these games are 0-0 at half-time. In fact, every single one of them since the 1st of February has been 0-0 at half-time in Serie A. That is quite remarkable. And we've not even looked at AC Milan yet, but we can guarantee that they are scoring second half goals. They've scored 2 second half goals here. They've scored 1 here. They've scored 3 here. And they've scored just 1 in this game against Bologna. 1 second half goal in the game before that. These are all away games, bear in mind. At home could be a different picture. You can actually go to the timing tab as well and see that they are scoring more goals by some distance in the second half. Just 9 away goals before half-time in Serie A, 0.56 per game, and compared to 17 away from home. So what I'm going to do is take a look at some of these fixtures. I will also share this in the description, but that is the power of quick filters. I'm going to take a look at some more games from the feed here and get back to you with my selections. And of course, I will explain them in detail, just like I have with this Milan game, but it is very, very simple, very easy to go through and use quick filters to find games that you're looking for. And just incidentally here, BTTS in the second half, 44% of games. And in terms of the second half, seeing a goal, which is what we are after, 0-0 in the second half, just 6% of away games. If we look at overall, it is 24%, so much more goal-worthy in the second half away from home, AC Milan, and they are not in the best place at the minute, so they need a performance. So the second game that I'm going to add, and this will be a double this for second half goals thanks to the quick filters. This one is on Saturday, so this will be the first game, and it comes from Slovakia. and it is first away at fourth, and you can see Slovan Bratislava have won just under 80% of away games, goal difference of 22, but when those goals come is interesting. So they've been drawing at half-time in the majority of games. They've never been behind at half-time away from home this season, and there's been quite a few games played, so decent sample size. They're scoring 0.93 goals per first half away from home compared to 1.79, so they're actually scoring nearly double the number of goals in the second half. It's a good one, this, I think, because you can see as well when we scroll down, every single second half has seen at least one goal. And then we can see that 93% of games have actually seen 2 or more goals in the second half. 64% of their away games have seen most goals being scored in the second half as well. And if we look at the head-to-head data, the previous game between these teams was a 2-2 draw with all goals coming in the second half, and before that 2-1 with all goals coming in the second half as well. So there is a good history here. And the potential markets, before we jump to Bet365, Slovan to win the second half is 2.25, which I thought was very good. Most goals in the second half, 1.95, and then of course Slovan to score a second half goal, 1.44. So let me know what you think about this one in the comments. Now let's jump to Bet365 and see what I've put together thanks to this quick filter. Here we go then. This is the double that I'm putting together thanks to that quick filter. AC Milan to score a goal in the second half, 1.5. That is pretty decent given the data that we just saw. And half with the most goals, Slovan Bratislava. So the half with the most goals is the second half. Let me know what you think about this one. As I say, there are other markets in that game that do look appealing as well. Slovan to win the second half. Slovan to simply score in the second half was 1.44 as well. So plenty of options thanks to the quick filter. You can test out quick filters on OddAlerts this weekend. And if you do, let me know what you think. In this second segment, we are going to the trends pages, and this is something I've not yet demoed on YouTube, but it is a brand new feature. If you're not sure how the trends pages work, you can rank all teams in the world by a certain statistic. So we are on the over 1.5 goals trends page, and we can see that it is full of 100% records here. And some of the games have got odds, so if we wanted to set an alert on this game here, I think this is from Sweden, 13 out of 13, they're playing away from home again. We can say, let me know when this hits 1.5 in play, and I'll be alerted to that. Now, to do this for every game, and there's a few 100% records, as you can see when I click through, it's going to take some time. Until now, you can click on this banner at the top and set bulk alerts with trends. This is a massive feature that I know people are going to love. You hit set, and let's say for this market, any game that has 90% or more, and we can leave the odds optional. We can just leave it because a lot of these games don't have odds. And I'm going to say for all of these games, when it hits 1.6, let me know, and it goes away. It sets all the alerts for you, and then they are set, and you will get these alerts across the weekend when and if they trigger, and you will be sent some incredible value. 149 alerts were just set, and there it is. You will be notified when any of these games, which are all 100% records, by the way. We can see there's some games from Italy here. It's not just obscure leagues. We've got the Eredivisie here as well, taking place on Monday. We've got, this is football from Argentina as well, over 1.5 goals in every game. Bogota as well in the Colombian Premier League. We've got, as I say, games from Sweden. We've got Serie A, Lazio. We've got Bayern Munich. So if they start slowly, which they very well can, you will be notified and you will capture that value in play. Now, this is supported on any trends page that comes with odds and the ability to set alerts. So first half goals is another one where it's going to be just so valuable. So let's just do it again just to show you how easy it is. Any game that is, let's say, 85%, let me know when it hits 1.9, we'll say, for first half goals. We'll go and hit save, and it'll go away, set all the alerts for you, And there we go, another 150 alerts. So you are going to capture a lot of value this weekend when using the trends page. And if you want to test this out for this weekend, you can use the code TRENDS to get 15% discount on OddAlerts this weekend. That is the code TRENDS when you check out. Now on to the form guide, where we are going to put together a weekend ACCA. Welcome to the penultimate section of this video, and this is the football form guide. If you've not tried it, it is a very powerful, very simple and sophisticated tool that lets you rank teams by form. So we are looking at the last 10 games here, and we are grouping all of the English teams together. So the 92 from the Premier League all the way down to the bottom of League 2. You can, of course, look at the top European leagues and many other competitions as well. But for this example, for this weekend ACCA, we are going to be looking at the EFL. And we see Burnley here. Now, Burnley have been promoted. I'm going to open this game in a new tab for us because I do want to cover it. Burnley have won more games than any other team in England across the last 10 games, and it has got them promoted. Now, what I'm going to do is open this game because QPR are at home, and I feel like this would be a good game for BTTS given the fact that it has happened in 8 of the last 10 games for QPR. At home, they're not in any kind of form, no wins in 5, but for Burnley, they are unbeaten since the 3rd of November. What a team. So good defensively as well, but they have stumbled a little bit, as you can see. 4 of the last 5 games ending with BTTS as they chased promotion. They've got it now, and their promotion was secured on Monday, and they are then playing again on Saturday at 12:30. So I think there could be a bit of a hangover, which leads me to this market right here. BTTS is at evens with Bet365. I think that is a very, very good option. This is one of the first things we are going to look at. And of course, at the end of this section, I will jump to Bet365 and put things together. But let me continue using the football form guide right now, because we are going to go from games won. What should we pick next? Let's look at over 2.5 goals, and we see that Brighton have seen this happen in 10 of the last 10 games. Let's take a look at this one in a new tab, shall we? Brighton hosting West Ham, who have been in no kind of form, but I think they will have had a kick up the bottom given Fulkrug's comments after the game. I think Potter and his coaches will have been having some serious discussions. This is the form for West Ham. It's not good at all. But there is a very, very different problem for Brighton, which is that they are conceding far too many goals. And because of that, West Ham to simply score a goal in this game after the poor performance against Southampton, I think they will be keen to prove something to their fans after that disappointing result. And I think Potter will change things as well. I think they're not going to get relegated. Why not experiment? Why not just try and get at this Brighton team? Because as they've shown in recent weeks, they can be got at. The odds for West Ham to score a single goal in this game are 1.5, which I think is pretty decent. If you wanted to go for more goals in the games, it would be decent as well, because as we can see by the football form guide, which is interesting given the form for Brighton. If we scroll down here and look at over 1.5 goals for, no team has scored more than Brighton in terms of scoring 2 or more goals in a game across the last 10. So that is Brighton against Wolves. Let's now fix something for another statistic. If we look at BTTS, incidentally, Ipswich, 8 out of the last 10 games, they can score, but they also, unfortunately, concede far too many. They are destined to be relegated. You would feel maybe this weekend it can happen. They are away at Newcastle, who have seen BTTS landing in 5 of the last 10, incidentally. And we can see Salford City, 8 out of 10, Barnsley, 8 out of 10, Mansfield, 8 out of 10, quite a few teams here, and QPR, who we covered just before, also 8 out of 10. Norwich Middlesbrough is an interesting game as well. We will cover that one. I will open that in a new tab. That is a very interesting game that I came across recently. What we'll take a look at now is shots. Let's see who's having the most shots. It is Chelsea. Out of all teams in England, Chelsea have taken more shots and by some distance as well. And then Middlesbrough are up there as well. Chelsea game is interesting. They're hosting Everton, aren't they? Under 2.5 goals, incidentally, has landed in 75% of away games for Chelsea. I do think Chelsea will win this game, but it might not be pretty. Tarkowski is out for Everton, which is a massive blow because Michael Keane, when he's come in, has not looked fantastic. I said we will check out the Middlesbrough game, and we will check it out. I opened it in a new tab, and the interesting thing here with this game is that Middlesbrough need to win to have any chance of being in the playoffs. They are 7th at the moment. Massive games coming up for them. This is one of them. Norwich have just sacked their manager after this. This is their run. They are mathematically not able to get into the playoffs because of this run. So they have sacked the manager, and in comes Jack Wilshere for his managerial debut. We saw Middlesbrough third in England for total shots, 160 in the last 10 games. They've lost 3 out of 5 coming into this, but they will be glad to be back at home where they have done this. They have won 4 of the last 5, only being beaten by Leeds United, but the teams they've beaten are Derby 23rd, QPR 14th, Oxford 18th. So yeah, they're not really beating the better teams, which if you want to get promoted, if you want to get into the playoffs, you need to do that. And just one last look at Norwich as well. Away from home, the last 6 games have ended with BTTS. I do think there'll be a bit of a boost for Norwich as the players surely can put in a performance for Jack Wilshere, very likeable guy, part of the coaching staff, for the best part of a year now. So here is the weekend form guide. Aka, the debut of this landed in Discord last week, and now that I'm able to produce a video, I thought I would do it on YouTube as well. BTTS in QPR Burnley at evens. I think the hangover could be a very real thing for Burnley. I'm not saying they will lose, but maybe they will concede and go on to win the game in the second half. West Ham to simply score a goal against a Brighton team that has been conceding for fun, 1.5. And then BTTS, Middlesbrough Norwich, Jack Wilshere's first game as a manager there, 1.61, 4.84 in total. Let me know what you think about this one in the comments. And now we go to the final section. And welcome to Man versus Machine. This is the bet slip generator. If you've not used this before, it is powered by the probability model on OddAlerts. You can enable the markets you like and then set the probability. So we are looking at over 1.5 goals, over 2.5 goals. BTTS is enabled as well, as is the home goals and the away goals. And we will just hit search here next 72 hours, which is the weekend. And then we will hit run and see what we get. We are targeting 2.5 odds, so it's got us a nice double here. This is a Friday double here, and we've got one here from Saturday. We can hit run again at any time to see what kind of games you get. It generates 10 bet slips at a time, so feel free to keep hitting run again. It'll also give you some advice on how to include more games. So if we took BTTS from 60% to 55%, it would include 364 more games for that market. And we can see here, this is positive value, 26%. This is a Saturday and Sunday double. So let's go with this. The model is giving this odds of 1.89, but in reality, we have 2.4. If you want to see more of these shared, follow on X. We post these daily on X, and they've been doing quite well because it's powered by the probability model, which of course powers the value betting on OddAlerts. So it is another way to access the model and generate bet slips on demand. You can also do this from the Telegram bot. It saves your settings, and then you can just request a bet slip at any time, and you can see that it is endless, the possibilities here, especially as you can go back in and enable corner markets, double chance, take your pick. This is for pro users. It is a very powerful tool, as you can imagine. If you've got any feedback or markets that you want added, just let me know in the comments. And that is the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I will see you again in the next one.